the gentleman from California, I believe Mr. Knight. He's recognized for quick.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I had the honor of having the new administrator in our new NASA caucus last night. He spoke about all of the great things that NASA's doing. You know, and we brought up what New Horizons did and how that was a kind of a mankind-changing event. It was on every newspaper across the globe. This wasn't a national issue. This was a total globe issue. When we went by Pluto and we were able to go within 10,000 miles of Pluto's surface and do all of the things that New Horizons brought to us. But I'd like to kind of look at what we've done in progression with Hubble and even closer to home with SOFIA and some of the other telescopes that we use and what we see and what we get. And give me an idea, and I think you've expounded on this quite a bit, but how much of a game-changing event is James Webb going to be? Compared to what Hubble gives us, that's 350 miles away from us, and James Webb being almost 1 million miles away from us and cruising.
It's a wonderful question, and I've heard Chairman Smith talk about Hubble a lot in my days on this committee and his excitement for it, and I'll tell you the story he tells, and how Hubble absolutely changed the game of what we understand about our universe. The way Chairman Smith describes it, if you hold a penny up at arm's length and you look at the eye of Abraham Lincoln, when Hubble looks through that eye, which is a very small piece of sky, just that's all the piece of sky that it's looking at, but in an area of space where there's not a lot of stars in our own galaxy, so we could see beyond our galaxy, Hubble started taking pictures in areas like that. And instead of seeing stars, Hubble saw thousands and thousands of galaxies. So we now believe that there are potentially 400 billion plus galaxies, each with 400 billion plus stars, and I'm just throwing out round numbers here. That's every galaxy is very different.
We won't hold you to those numbers.
Right, okay. But it changed the way we understand our place in the cosmos, and ultimately how complex our cosmos is. And Hubble changed the game. It changed textbooks. You know, we didn't grow up with that knowledge. Now we have that knowledge, and it's in the textbooks that my kids are reading. James Webb is going to do the same thing for our understanding of how, you know, physics in the early universe worked, because there's a lot of things we don't know. And so it will change textbooks. It will be generational, just like Hubble was, and it's a whole new level of understanding that that we're going to have as a nation and as humanity.
And absolutely, and I think these I appreciate the chairman doing this. This is very important. It's important for us as representatives to know what is the cost overrun, what is a time overrun, what are the difficulties, and is this something that we saw when we started out on this? A lot of times government asks for something that we might not know how to do, but over a period of time we're going to learn that. And that's something that maybe we've got to get a little better at too. This is an extremely difficult issue. And this is something that is going in a different direction. But as I like to say, America takes giant leaps where others thought was impossible. And that's exactly what we're doing with James Webb. So I think that everyone has said, keep it on time now, move forward. Let's get this in the air so that our academics, our kids who are going to learn from this, and scientists around the world are going to learn. That is what we are going to impact. This is a humankind event. This is not something that's easy, and this is not something that we're not going to have more problems. But when this happens, this will be a humankind event. So I appreciate your leadership. I appreciate the enthusiasm. That's what NASA's about. It's achieving. It's making sure that that 7-year-old that wants to be an aeronautical engineer or an astronaut or whatever looks at NASA and says, look at all they're achieving. That's what I want to do. And it changes the globe for the better. So thank you.
And Mr. Knight, I would add that we're making great progress on the low boom flight demonstrator.
Thank you.